Liz Schrum, your host for Wisbusiness.com, The Show. This new web show aims to give you a statewide look at business news and views. Today's show has 3 segments. First, what's up and what's down in state business news. Second, a commentary from Wisconsin Technology Council President Tom Still. And we'll conclude with an interview with University Research Park Director Mark Buer. But first, the Wisbusiness.com stock report for late September 2009. Let's see what's rising, mixed, and falling. Wind energy is on the rise. The state legislature has passed a bill allowing state regulators to set standards for small wind farms, and Governor Jim Doyle has indicated he'll sign it. Backers say the new law will help Wisconsin meet the requirement that 10% of the state's electricity comes from renewables by the year 2015. Health insurance is mixed. Recent reports show the cost of insurance is rising in Wisconsin, even as the state continues to have among the lowest rates of uninsured people in the country, about 10%. And a look at what's falling in our stock report. Insiders are wondering about all that fuss and money spent for a new brand. Live like you mean it, and originality rules. That brand and slogan were unveiled in March, but are absent from a new ad that started to run this month. A Department of Tourism spokeswoman says the department wanted to focus on its TravelWisconsin.com website. You can read more about all these stories and more at Wisbusiness.com. Now to Tom Still and his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
Author Michael Pollan says we shouldn't eat anything our great-grandmothers wouldn't recognize as food. I don't know about your great-grandmothers, but much of what mine would have recognized as food was deep-fried in grease or boiled into mush in hopes it might still be safe to eat after sitting around all day in an unrefrigerated cupboard. In Defense of Food, An Eater's Manifesto, the book that UW-Madison Chancellor Biddy Martin selected as the first offering for a campus-wide reading program, contains many other axioms intended to reduce a complicated subject into an uncomplicated creed. Ah, but if life was as simple as Pollan's book would have you believe. Pesky realities keep getting in the way, such as a century's worth of public health improvements, food science innovation, and transportation breakthroughs that have made modern life possible for those 300 million Americans who don't live on their great-grandmother's farms and who are really glad they don't. No small share of that innovation was born over the decades on the UW-Madison campus, which explains why some people across Wisconsin were annoyed that In Defense of Food was the first to be anointed in Martin's Go Big Read program. For the most of the first 100 years or so of the UW-Madison's existence, the phrase tech transfer was largely about agriculture. It meant getting the latest science into the hands of farmers and others who brought nutritious foods to market. This dedication on the part of UW researchers spawned entire industries and pioneered methods to plant, cultivate, harvest, and process foods that changed lives for millions of people. In many ways, this tradition of farm innovation represented the origins of the Wisconsin idea, which is the notion that great ideas shouldn't be confined to the borders of the campus. With that tradition in mind, it's understandable that some in Wisconsin see a contradiction in the Chancellor's office granting special status to a book that turns its back on scientific work diligently carried out over time. Farm groups have sounded off, of course, and so have a few voices on campus. If getting people to talk about issues was a goal of Go Big Read, it worked. But in the minds of some of those who are now talking about In Defense of Food, a few seeds of doubt about the university have been planted.
Thanks, Tom. I'm with Mark Buer, Director of the University Research Park in Madison, and one of the leaders in Wisconsin's effort to build a more vibrant economy. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, nice to be here.
University Research Park continues to grow more than 25 years after it was created. It's now up to 115 companies and more than 4,000 employees. One of the latest additions is an accelerator building. Tell us more about that.
Well, our accelerator building is designed to provide space for companies that graduate from our early stage incubator. We've developed this facility to allow for company growth as the startup companies in the research park move beyond the early stage phase into a more mature growth trajectory for their companies.
Fantastic. The park has also purchased 270 acres of land on Madison's far west side for a second phase. How many buildings and companies do you expect, and when do you think construction will begin?
We are hoping that the City of Madison will approve our development plan for Research Park 2 in the month of October. And when that plan is approved, we'll move forward with construction. Ultimately, we'll have 50 sites on this particular phase of the park. This park will house somewhere in the range of 200 companies, and those companies will employ upwards of 15,000 to 20,000 people when it's fully developed in about 15
Great.
years or so.
I know the park is doing a variety of things to help the overall Wisconsin economy. One of the most recent efforts is the campaign called We Left the Lights On, which is aimed at UW grads around the country and even the world, hoping to lure them back home. How's the campaign going, Mark?
Well, the campaign is going great. We've contacted alumni from all over the world. These are UW-Madison alumni who are in decision-making positions in companies that they occupy all across this country and all across the world. And when they make decisions with respect to moving their company or starting a new operation, we hope they'll consider coming back to their old alma mater at UW-Madison and the University Research Park with respect to a new facility.
Thank you for watching this edition of Wisbusiness The Show, produced by Wisbusiness.com, the Wisconsin Technology Council, and Tweedy Productions of Madison. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum. See you next time.